It's humid outside. You can feel that there's a lot of moisture in, and that is a part of what, along with a cold front, is sparking thunderstorms across southern Minnesota. And most concerning, we continue to watch a tornado warning to our south. We just have showers here in the Twin Cities. It's really north of Albert Lea, that in the Heartland area, north of Manchester, is where we are watching this tornado rolling. Storm spotters in the area do see rotation, no confirmed tornado at the moment. Radar indicating and storm spotters on the ground indicating that this storm does have some decent rotation to it and has been picking up in terms of the strength of that rotation. It's pushing off to the east about 25 miles per hour. So again, right in the Heartland area right now, north of Manchester, remains north of Albert Lea as it pushes off to the east and eventually into Clarks Grove, then as it crosses over 35 into Geneva area. So we'll continue to keep our eye on what is happening down here. Again, north of Albert Lea is where that is. Statewide, it's quiet to the north. We have showers through central Minnesota and the storms with a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain rumbling into the southern portion of the state. In Cottonwood County, that severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire. We continue until 8 o'clock tonight with a severe thunderstorm watch for southern Minnesota. And severe thunderstorms don't necessarily take into account the amount of rain or the intensity of the rain, but a flash flood watch does. All the counties in green here across southern Minnesota, flash flood watch with rain totals an additional 1 to 3 inches, some isolated totals up to 5 inches. Similar to what we saw yesterday in the Redwood Falls area, that is again possible with a lot of moisture and some slow moving storms moving over and over the same area across southern Minnesota here through the evening. So by 7, we still have widespread storms south of the metro. Dakota, Scott County starting to see some of the action once we get closer to sunset and into 10 p.m. But by this time, the threat for severe weather is drastically lowered. It's more the heavy rain. It'll all start to fizzle out, start to taper off through the overnight. Showers will continue for us. But after early tomorrow morning, we'll finally get to take a deep breath and have at least a little bit of a chance to dry out for Tuesday afternoon. So this is what Tuesday looks like overall, getting some late day sunshine, high temperatures in the 80s. And so that gives us a mostly dry day tomorrow. A lot of Wednesday is mostly dry as well, but some isolated storms possible Wednesday evening that linger and move over into the 4th of July as well. So Pat, we're continuing to keep our eye down to the south, but just know that we do have a mostly dry day and some sunshine to look forward to tomorrow.
Well, something good to look forward to. Thank you, Laura.